Here's the thing. First of all, you don't live in a fucked up world, which means there has to be somebody doing something good in this world. You're not a slave right now. Last time I checked. Right or wrong?
That's wrong.
Well, there's actually a reason why we're not slaves, though.
Slave? How is it? Wait a minute. How is? Wait a minute.
If you're talking about chattel slavery, that's one thing. If you're talking about
chattel slavery, you can argue it, but you're dead wrong. We still slaves.
Mentally, we're slaves.
There's a reason why we're not slaves.
We're slaves to debt. We're slaves.
So this government is enslaved to the Federal Reserve right now as we speak. What the hell are we talking about?
People, whoever runs the world, people do things in the interest of their own, and for their own, they may be seen as good.
They think they're good.
Else, they may be seen as bad.
Yep.
So when you got, for instance, when you got two warring countries, if you got two countries that are absolutely at war with one another, one side thinks the other side is evil. The other side thinks the other side is evil. But they all look to the person that's fighting for them and think they're heroes.
Yep.
So, and I think that's why I'm kind of with Israel in the manner where he said good and bad people run the world, because good and bad is in the eye of the people that watches them.
Yeah,
if they're doing it in my best interest, like Trigger Mike said.
No, wait a minute.
No.
Good is in the eye of the beholder.
No, it's not. No, it's not, because that's when you get into the concept of no, it is not. That is when you get into the concept.
That's toxic.
No, that is bullshit. That is when you get into the concept of objective. Listen, this is when you get into the concept of objective versus subjective. This is where you get into the concept of subjective versus objective reality. So this is where you have to be very, very careful with this, because there is, if you're telling me if goodness is in the eye of the beholder, that means that there was nothing really wrong with what Hitler did to the Jews.
That wasn't what I said at all.
Which you cannot say if you're looking at things objectively.
Right.
There are these
people, they thought that was a good thing. What are you talking about?
Okay, let go. Let me tell you something. Let go. This is what I need you to explain. This is what I need you to understand. Subjectively thinking something is good does not objectively make it true. Does 2 + 2 equal 4, or does that shit equal 5?
Austin, I think you misunderstood. Hold on, wait, Israel. Austin, I think you misunderstood what I said. If me and you are at war and there's only one resource, we both want that resource. You need that resource for the betterment of your people. I need that resource for the betterment of my people. We both gonna fight to death over it. But to our people, to you, you are evil to me.
Yep.
You are bad to me. You are bad to my people. But for my people, I'm a hero.
Mm-hmm.
And for your people, you're a hero. I'm not talking, obviously, there is some deplorable shit that a lot of people do in this world that we can objectively look at and be like, damn, that was pretty goddamn evil.
Exactly what I'm speaking to.
I.e. what Hitler did. You're absolutely right.
I'm speaking to.
Right.
But when we talk about when we're talking about what people run the world, people tend to run the world like Trigger Mike in the best interest of whoever they're doing their interest for. Okay. And for those people,
and is that good or bad?
During that time,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
That time, there also was a Winston Churchill. There was also other people who were heroes of the time who were connected to those situations. Yes.
So wait a minute, right?
Yo, man.
This is where
there's other people that were heroes in the situation. So there are good men and there are not so good men, and they both run the world.
So
it's not all bad men that run the world. That's crazy.
But you couldn't even name me a couple of good ones that did.
Yo,
here's the thing. Can I add to this conversation?
Go ahead, bro.
So here's the thing. First of all, you don't live in a fucked up world, which means there has to be somebody doing something good in this world. You're not a slave right now. Last time I checked. Right or wrong?
That's wrong.
Well, there's actually a reason why we're not slaves, though.
Slave?
How is it? Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
If you're talking about chattel slavery, that's one thing. If you're talking about
chattel slavery, you can argue it, but you're dead wrong. We still slaves.
Mentally, we're slaves.
There's a reason why we're not slaves.
We're slaves to debt.
So this government is enslaved to the Federal Reserve right now as we speak. What the hell are we talking about?
Hold on for a second. So, dude with the I don't know what's his name, Austin. You raised a lot of stink about people talking over you, particularly my man Israel. So can you not talk over me? Because you ain't
that wasn't me initially. That was Ali. But go ahead, single me out. Why don't you?
No, I was, but
you're patient. You're not going to disrespect me the way you doing him.
I mean, I didn't disrespect nobody. You coming to me with the wrong energy. I want to correct that.
I'm speaking right now, bro. Because you rude as fuck, fam. I've been sitting here watching the whole time.
I've been quiet this whole time.
Angry man, hold on.
Y'all tried to jump. Y'all tried to jump in.
Then make sure you talk Israel and let go. Don't do that.
Yo, it's too late for this. Can y'all just talk?
But then do that. Make sure you address them. Don't just go straight to him. You want to disrespect
them. Gonna do the same
hold
shit.
on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
You want to disrespect.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, because I don't want to ruin the audience.
You're not
gonna do the same shit.
Come on.
No, you're not gonna come do that.
I don't want to ruin it for the audience.
Hey, your boy. I'm listening to JR. He the host. I'm listening to JR.
Angry man,
can you chill for a second? Like, come on, man. Everybody just chill.
Hold on, y'all. We was having a good conversation. We was having a good. We was having a good conversation.
Chill, man.
We was having a good conversation. We was having a good conversation. Angry man. Angry man. Angry man. Hold on. We was having a good conversation.
Be quiet. He stopped talking.
Hold on. Let go. We was having a good conversation, y'all.
And I was adding to the conversation until Gray Suit over there interrupted me, just like he's doing my man.
All right, nobody interrupt nobody. Let's just have this conversation. Let's just have this conversation.
Go ahead, Angry man.
And he's saying a bunch of bullshit. We do not live in a world where all evil men run the world. That is a ridiculous statement. And Ali, I know you on your woke super pro black shit, but you're not a slave, my nigga.
No,
you're not.
What are you on, Angry man? What are you on? So what are you on though?
You're not a slave.
So what should we promote? If we're not slaves, what
you're
are
not
we?
A slave.
What are we?
You're not a slave. When you woke up this morning, did somebody crack a whip to make you go work somewhere?
You talking about chattel slavery? We slaves to debt.
Slavery is slavery, bro.
Okay, hold on. Listen, if we're gonna have a respectful conversation, we can agree to disagree, correct? Right? Let's calm both calm down. We are to what I see, what we all see. We are slave to our homes. We are slave to our cars. We are slave to everything.
One word, Ali, banks.
If you choose to be.
And the biggest slavery we're to is to the banks. We're always in debt. When you lend out $1 in interest, you can never pay.
So everybody's in debt?
Okay, wait a second.
Everybody's in debt.
Wait, guys.
No, everybody's not in debt.
Let me say, give me 10 seconds. Give me 10 seconds. Give me literally 10 seconds.
Wait a minute.
If any one of you take out $1 bill out of your wallet right now, it says this is legal tender for all debts, public and private. Every dollar that we have was given to us on loan from the Federal Reserve. Go read a document called Modern Money Mechanics. Hold on a second. Hold on.
One mic. Hold on. Let him finish.
Let me finish. To prove my point, prior to 1933, our dollars were redeemable in gold. After 1933, with the illegal gold seizure that Franklin Delano Roosevelt passed, it stole every bit of real wealth from the American public. In 1933, to get us out of the Depression, he seized gold at the rate of $20 an ounce. Nixon got us off the last remnant of the gold standard in 1970. Our dollar today is backed by absolutely nothing. If you look at a chart, wait a minute, let me say this, I'm done. If you look at a chart of the U.S. money supply from 1934 to the present, you'll see a constant increase and slight detractions. But every time you see an increase in the money supply, you see a direct equivalent increase in debt. How? Because debt is built into the system. So we are absolutely slaves to the banks. Ali is spot on.
Austin, with all due respect, bro, you're preaching to the choir with all this information. Everybody knows this.
So then what the fuck are we talking about?
But the nation is in debt.
If you'll allow me to speak, I will tell you what I'm talking about.
Rebuttal, Angry man. Rebuttal.
Number one, to have an argument about what money is backed up by. Yes, money used to be backed up by gold, but what is gold backed up by? It's a shiny fucking rock, bruh. The concept of money is determined by what we value. Right now, the money that we have, you know what it's backed up by? It's backed up by the U.S. military. As long as we have a strong military and we're number one in the world, if we remain in that spot, our money will remain valuable. The moment we lose that spot, then the money won't be valuable anymore. Now, going back to what Ali was talking about. Ali, if you're talking about being a slave to debt, bro, you're talking about perception. I'm not talking about perception. I'm talking about actual slavery, the actual definition of being a slave. If you're a slave, that means you are physically in bondage, which means you do not have the choice to go and come as you please. Okay, you're talking about something entirely different. You're talking about your perception of being under something. And no matter what society you live in, whether you're in this country or another country, whether you're back in the day or now, you are always going to be under the rulership of something. So by your definition, everyone is always a slave.